children's librarian here at the Turner Free Library. Today I'm here with...
my name is Ryan Egan and I'm the Vice President of the Randolph Town Council.
Yay! How excited are we? We have a town councilor in our midst and we're going to be reading books for Pride Month. First book we have I Am Jazz, and it's by Jessica Herthel and Jazz Jennings. This book is published by Dial Books for Young Readers, which is an imprint of Penguin Group USA LLC. I Am Jazz. For as long as I can remember, my favorite color has been pink. My second favorite color is silver, and my third favorite color is green. Well, I'm with Jazz on that one because my second favorite color is green. Here are some of my other favorite things. Dancing, singing, backflips, drawing, soccer, swimming, makeup, and pretending I'm a pop star. La, la, la. And here's pictures of her doing all these fun things, which I'm sure you do at home, and I don't do those at home at all. Maybe a little bit. Most of all, I love mermaids. Sometimes I even wear a mermaid tail in the pool. My goodness, how cool would that be? Who wants a mermaid tail to wear in the pool? My best friends are Samantha and Casey. We always have fun together. We like high heels and princess gowns and cartwheels and trampolines. Who doesn't love a trampoline? Oh my goodness. I love trampolines. I want a trampoline. Let's get a trampoline right now. But I'm not exactly like Samantha and Casey. So I don't know if you guys know the story of Jazz, but you're about to find out why she's not exactly the same as Samantha and Casey. I have a girl brain, but a boy body. This is called transgender. I was born this way. When I was very little, and my mom would say, "You're such a good boy," I would say, "No, Mama, good girl." At first, my family was confused. They always thought of me as a boy. How hard would that be? Think of yourself one way and everyone's telling you you're something different, but you're not. As I got a little older, I hardly ever played with trucks or tools or superheroes, only princesses and mermaid costumes. My brothers told me this was girl stuff. I kept right on playing. My sister says I was always talking to her about my girl thoughts and my girl dreams and how one day I would be a beautiful lady. She would giggle and say, "You're a funny kid." But you know what? I just want to say that not all girls like princesses stuff and mermaid costumes. Some of us like trucks, tools, and superheroes. This one right here. But we also sometimes like the princess and mermaid stuff too. Sometimes my parents let me wear my sister's dresses around the house, but whenever we went out, I had to put on my boy clothes again. This made me mad. Still, I never gave up trying to convince them. Pretending I was a boy felt like telling a lie. We would never want Jazz to feel uncomfortable. Then, one amazing day, everything changed. Mom and Dad took me to a new doctor who asked me lots and lots of questions. Afterward, the doctor spoke to my parents and I heard the word transgender for the very first time. That night at bedtime, my parents both hugged me and said, "We understand now. Be who you are. We love you, no matter what." This made me smile and smile and smile. Doesn't Jazz have like the best parents? It's always nice when your parents will accept you for who you are. It's great. Mom and Dad told me I could start wearing girl clothes to school and growing my hair long. They even let me change my name to Jazz. Being Jazz felt more like being me. Mom said that being Jazz would make me different from the other kids at school, but that being different is okay. What's important, she said, is that I'm happy with who I am. isn't that great? Now Jazz gets to wear the girl clothes and she gets to hang with her friends. Oh, being Jazz caused some other people to be confused too, like the teachers at school. At the beginning of the year, they wanted me to use the boys' bathroom and play on the boys' team in gym class, but that didn't feel normal to me at all. Here we go again. Come on, y'all. Let's do better for Jazz. I was so happy when the teachers changed their minds. I can't imagine not playing on the same team as Katie and Samantha. Ah. Even today, there are kids who tease me or call me a boy name or ignore me altogether. This makes me feel crummy. Then I remember that the kids who get to know me usually want to be my friend. They say I'm one of the nicest girls in school. Oh, isn't that great? Jazz is awesome. I don't mind being different. Different is special. I think what matters most is what a person is like inside. And inside, I am happy, I'm having fun, and I am proud. I am Jazz! And there's some information on the last page about Jazz and the Trans Kids Purple Rainbow Foundation, which was created in 2007. And they have a commitment to enhancing the lives of children born with gender dysphoria, which is what Jasmine was dealing with, and Jazz. Jazz was dealing with. And if you want to read more, you guys should definitely read more about Jazz and learn more about her story. She's definitely had a lot. She's been an activist for transgender rights and for a platform for gender dysphoria. So I would definitely check out her website, and I would definitely check out the wait, let me get this right. I'll definitely check out the website for Trans Kids Purple Rainbow Foundation, and that's www.transkidspurplerainbow.org. Thanks for reading this with us.
Can you get that here? Can you check that out?
Oh yes! Oh
Yeah?
yes!
Awesome.
Look at that! Like I totally skipped over that. Yes, you can check this out here. You should totally check it out during curbside pick because we still have it going.
Very exciting. All right.
What are you going to be reading today?
Well, that was a great Jazz story.
Thank
I don't
you.
know how I'm going to beat that, but today I'm going to be reading King and King. All right. So I'm going to try and do both. I'm going to try and read and show you at the same time. So King and King. This is my first book experience too, so this isn't as easy as you think it is.
No, you got
No,
this.
well, King and King. We got lots of good pictures here. All right, let's start. So on the tallest mountain above the town lived a queen, the young crown prince and the crown kitty. I don't know where the kitty is, but there's a bird here, and I don't think the bird's going to be there long if the kitty's around. The queen had ruled for many years, and she was very tired of it. She made up her mind that the prince would marry and become king before the end of the summer. This is probably the kingdom right there that they're showing you. Here we go, trying to turn pages. Fantastic. Wake up, called the queen. We're going to have a little talk, you and I. And there's the prince, he doesn't want to wake up. I don't really want to wake up either a lot of the times. But the queen's opening the window, and here we go. I've had enough, and you're getting married. That's all there is to it. And all you can see is the kitty right here. Everyone's screaming, marriage, marriage, marriage. The prince pushed away his breakfast. He couldn't eat a bite, but the queen talked on and on and on. I don't understand you. Every prince in these parts is married. Every one of them but you. When I was your age, I have been married twice already. And here's the king, the prince, not king yet. He's listening, and the queen talking on and on and on. By the evening, all the talking had made the prince very dizzy. Very well, mother, I'll marry. I must say, though, I've never cared much for princesses. To your future happiness, the queen said. And there they are at the table. They're eating and celebrating his future happiness. Very happy. That night, the queen found her list of princesses and called every castle. Alcazar, I think it is, and Palazzo, and near and far, all of them. The very next morning after that, a crowd waited at the gates, and here are all the kingdoms in the land. Princess Afria from Austria sang a thunderous opera for the prince. No sooner had she finished than she was shown the door. And that's Princess Afria right there, she's singing. Princess Dolly had flown all the way from Texas with her special magic act. The Crown Kitty was happy to assist. But the Queen and the Prince were not amused. You can see the Crown Kitty right down there in the corner. Next came the funny little princess from Greenland. The prince didn't hit it off with her either. So he really didn't mind when his page promptly fell in love with her. I don't know what a page is. Do you know what a page is?
It depends on...
Someone who works in the castle, right?
Yeah, it depends on, like, usually they'll do, like, the tasks that no one else wants to do.
Okay. Well, happy for the page. Boy, those long arms will certainly come in handy when waving to the people, said the prince to this princess. As fast as her elegant legs could carry her, Princess Rajmashputin from Mumbai stormed out of the palace. Right out of the palace. The queen and the prince looked at one another very sadly. None of this was quite what they had in mind. Wait, called the page. I guess this is the page. There is one more princess. Ahem. Presenting Princess Madeline and her brother, Prince Lee. Let's see what they look like. There they are. At last, the prince felt a stir in his heart. It was love at first sight. What a wonderful prince. What a wonderful prince, they said to each other. And there they are, the two princes. The wedding was very special. The queen shed a tear or two. Look at all these people. Look at all these people at the wedding. It's a beautiful wedding. I think the kitty's in here somewhere. Congratulations, everybody said. And they went on and I think lived happily ever after. Look at that. Very nice. Look at that cake. And, oh, we have more. The two princes are known as king and king now. The queen finally has some time for herself. And everybody lived happily ever after. And that is the king and the king now.
That queen was sure happy.
That queen was happy. She was happy to be retired. She was happy to be
she was
retired.
lounging. I love that.
Absolutely. So next.
And next.
This is one of my favorites. I think this is my favorite of the bunch. It's and Tango Makes Three. It's about some penguins, and it's written by
Justin Richardson and Peter Parnell, illustrated by
Henry Cole. All right, let's dig in.
Those illustrations look great. In fact, I really like the ones from King and King too.
Those are very good. Those are very good.
These artists, man.
Yeah. Wow, that's a good one. That looks like probably New York.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm like, wait, I've been there.
I think that's New York.
In the middle of New York City, there is a great big park called Central Park. Oh my God, who's been to Central Park? I love Central Park. If you haven't been, you gotta go. After COVID. Children love to play there. It has it has a toy boat pond where they can sail their boats. It has a carousel to ride on in the summer and an ice rink to skate on in the winter.
Lots to do.
There's so much to do at Central Park. Best of all, it has its very own zoo. Every day, families of all kinds go to visit the animals that live there.
Look at all these things to do.
Central Park's the place to be.
Yeah.
When I lived in New York, Central Park was like my all-time favorite place to go.
Wow.
But children and their parents aren't the only families at the zoo. The animals make families of their own. There are red panda bear families with mothers and fathers and furry red panda bear cubs. There are monkey dads and monkey moms raising noisy monkey babies. There are toad families and toucan families and cotton top tamarin families too.
Oh,
That's a lot of families.
that's a lot of families. Look at all these families. I think those are the monkeys, the toucans, all the birds. Look at that. There's a lot.
There's a lot going
That's
on
a
in
lot.
that zoo. And in the penguin house,
Here we are.
there are penguin families. Every year at the same time, the girl penguins start noticing the boy penguins, and the boy penguins start noticing the girl penguins. When the right girl and the right boy find each other, they become a couple.
Look at all the penguins.
They pair. They like to be in pairs.
Yes. Looks like it. They have more fun.
Two penguins in the penguin house were a little bit different. One was named Roy, and the other was named Silo. Roy and Silo were both boys, but they did everything together. They bowed to each other, they walked together, they sang together, and they swam together. Wherever Roy went, Silo went too.
Wow. Spent a lot of time together.
Oh my goodness, man.
I hope
That's-
they can sing better than me.
Yeah, it's like the new love, right?
Yeah.
Like every time you meet someone new that you're like totally into, you want to spend every minute
Every
together. They didn't spend much time with the girl penguins, and the girl penguins didn't spend much time with them. Instead, Roy and Silo wound their necks around each other. Their keeper, Mr. Gramsay, noticed the two penguins and thought to himself, they must be in love.
Oh.
Cute. Royce and Silo watched how the other penguins made a home, so they built a nest of stones for themselves. Every night, Roy and Silo slept there together, just like the other penguin couples. Isn't that great?
That's so cute.
Roy and Silo found love.
Yay. And I know the rocks mean a lot for penguins.
So you didn't even know that.
Yeah.
And every morning, Roy and Silo woke up together. But one day, Roy and Silo saw the other couples could do something they could not. The mama penguin would lay an egg. She and the papa penguin would take turns keeping the egg warm until finally it would hatch. And then there would be a baby penguin.
All the baby penguins.
Roy and Silo wanted to expand their family.
They
But
did.
How can they do
We'll
it?
find out.
Roy and Silo had no egg to sit on and keep warm. There was no baby chick to feed and cuddle with love. Their nest was nice, but it was a little empty. One day, Roy found something that looked like what the other penguins were hatching, and he brought it to their nest. It was only a rock, but Silo carefully sat on it and sat. What do you guys think is going to happen?
I don't know.
And sat. Silo has patience. When Silo got sleepy, he slept. And when Silo was done sleeping and sitting, he swam and Roy sat. Day after day, Silo and Roy sat on the rock. But nothing happened. They really wanted to expand their family.
Yeah.
Then Mr. Gramsay, oh my God, Mr. Gramsay, he got an idea. Oh, he found an egg that needed to be cared for, and he brought it to Roy and Silo's nest.
Oh, that was
Oh,
so nice.
Mr. Gramsay's the bomb.
He is. He's really something.
It's great. Roy and Silo knew just what to do. They moved the egg to the center of their nest. Every day they turned it so each side stayed warm. Some days Roy sat while Silo went for food. Other days it was Silo's turn to take care of the egg. They sat in the morning and they sat at night. They sat through lunchtime and swim time and supper. They sat at the beginning of the month and they sat at the end of the month, and they sat all of the days in between. that was dedication.
Dedication, that's what I was going to
Oh
say.
my goodness. I mean, I'm like.
Well, they practiced with the rock for a while,
Yeah.
so they know what they're doing.
That is
Yeah.
true, actually. Yeah, they
Yeah.
did have a lot of practice with that rock.
Look, they sat and they sat. They took turns.
They really cared for that.
They really did. Together.
Until one day they heard a sound coming from inside the egg. Peep, 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 it said. Roy and Silo called back, squawk, squawk. Peep, peep, answered the egg. Ah! Suddenly, a tiny hole appeared in the egg shell, and then
Oh, look, it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. Somebody's head's poking out.
crack! Out came their very own baby. She had fuzzy white feathers and a funny black beak. Now, Roy and Silo were fathers. We'll call her Tango, Mr. Gramsay decided, because it takes two to make a tango. Oh, that is so cute. Roy and Silo taught Tango how to sing for them when she was hungry. They fed her food from their beaks. They snuggled her in their nest at night. Tango was the very first penguin in the zoo to have two daddies.
They really love Tango.
They did, and Tango
Miss Tango.
loved them. Tango loved her two daddies, Roy and Silo. Oh, look at them, family. Soon Tango grew strong enough to leave the nest. Roy and Silo took her for a swim, just like all the other penguin families. And all the children who came to the zoo could see Tango and her two fathers playing in the penguin house with the other penguins. Look at that, all the penguin families. Hooray, Roy! Hooray, Silo! Welcome, Tango! They cheered. Ah, how exciting is that?
I love it.
It's so
Roy
cute.
and Silo really like to swim, we found out.
They do. At night, the three penguins returned to their nest. There they snuggled together, and like all the other penguins in the penguin house, and all the other animals in the zoo, and all the families in the big city around them, they went to sleep. Oh my goodness! Wait, so the author has a note. Do you want to? I'm gonna let Ryan tell you guys.
Sure, yeah. So apparently all of the events in this story are true. Roy and Silo are called chinstrap penguins. I know there are a lot of different types of penguins, so they're chinstrap penguins.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, so Google that. Because of the delicate line of black feathers that loop under their beaks as if to hold a hat in place. Interesting. After years of living side by side in the Central Park Zoo, they discovered each other in 1998. Yeah, I almost wasn't born. And they had a couple ever since. They have been a couple ever since. Tango is their only chick and was born from an egg laid by another penguin couple named Betty and Porky. That couple had often hatched their own eggs, but they had never been able to care for more than one at a time. So right after Roy and Milo were together, Betty laid 2 eggs, and Rob, the zookeeper, decided to give Roy and Silo one of the eggs to become a family. So if you go to the Central Park Zoo now, you can see Tango and her parents splashing about in the penguin house along with their friends. All of their friends include Nipper, Squawk, Charlie, Wasabi, and Pee-wee. There are over 42 chinstrap penguins in the Central Park Zoo and over 10 million in the world. But there's only one Tango. That's
Right.
true.
You can only
That's true.
have one Tango.
Yeah, it takes 2 though.
Yeah,
Takes
but
2.
Tango makes 3. Yes, man, that's awesome. And now the next time, eventually when I go back to New York, I'm gonna go and
I'll
see.
have to go. I'll have to go.
We have to,
Yeah,
right?
let's go
'Cause
together.
We just road trip because we gotta meet Tango, we gotta meet Roy and Silo and see this really cute family. We have to.
Oh, I love that.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed our story time and our wonderful guest, Town Councillor Ryan. He did such a great job, guys, right? Like, he did such a great job. It was so much fun.
I learned it all from you.
What? Well, I'm flattered. So we read I Am Jazz.
King and King.
and Tango makes 3. All right, have a great day.
Thank you.